We are live. Welcome to episode 37 of the High Slot Podcast, brought to you by our producer, Mass Music Radio. I'm here today, as always, with the boys, Bob Deuce.
How are we?
Snipsky.
Yes, sir.
And myself, Andrew Coco Curry. How we doing, boys? Anything new with you guys?
No, just another week of coaching and practicing, get ready for Saturday's tilt against Nichols, and just happy to be here, boys.
Yeah, same. Nice little long weekend. Got after it a little bit. Had some fun. Nothing too crazy, though.
Yeah. In honor of MLK, Snipsky, were you throwing a few back for him?
Yes, sir. In honor of that brand new statue.
Yeah, Vinny was on his hands and knees at that statue, just crying, just shit-faced. So happy for the be there.
I still don't understand what that statue is. Like, what's it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be like MLK, like hugging or something. It's something to do with
I know
MLK.
the background a little bit. It's him hugging his wife after he received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Right. And he actually got it. I don't know if he got it here. He might have.
Because he went to school here.
But some connection.
Yeah, he went to school here.
I think the other thing was that he met his wife in Boston.
Okay.
So that's another connection. That's the one I really heard. That's why I think they did it. I don't know if he received the prize here. He might have.
So we hitched him.
I figured there was some sort of connection with Boston, but yeah, I've seen it all over social media, like people bashing it. I'm like, dude, I feel like they butcher statues like left and right nowadays.
I mean, I was listening to the radio and they're talking about it a little bit, and they're like actually saying like it looks like a penis, and like like even like the guy I heard this actually on the radio that the cousin of Coretta Scott King, still alive obviously, and he they asked him about it. I forget where it was, but it's on record, and he was just like, yeah, it looks like a penis or something like that.
To me, it looks like two snakes fornicating. They're just intertwined, like making another snake.
I think, I saw on someone's Snapchat, it was pretty fun, or it was an Instagram story, it was a picture of, Randy Marsh. No, it was a Randy Marsh video, and they, combined it. And Randy Marsh is, telling his son is standing, just hey, look at it. It's like a toilet. Look at his shit in the toilet.
Yeah,
and it's the MLK statue. It looks like the arm looks like a turd.
Nasty.
Yeah. I was going to say, it looks like hot snakes to me.
Yeah.
Coming out of your ass. But that makes sense. Yeah.
Hot snakes?
Yeah. Dude,
that's comedy, dude.
That's what I first thought it looked like. But, yeah, people have been bashing it. I think they dropped the ball on that one. But if it's to honor MLK, it's for a good cause. You know that.
Yeah, 100%. But, yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah. I don't know who the architect was behind that, but he might be having
I heard it was him, one guy, and then it got passed along through different artists, and they kind of all just put it together. I heard it wasn't just one guy.
And then there's one artist that wanted to see the world burn and just made it look like a pile of shit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Wouldn't want my name next to that. But yeah, MLK Day over the weekend. Shout out to him for the day off from work. Always appreciate that. Amongst bigger and better things that he was proactive for. But we won't get into that today because we got a big episode for all you beauties out there. We're going to start with a little hockey talk. Then we'll do a Mass High School hockey roundup from the past week. Then we're going to each give our favorite Patrice Bergeron moment to honor number 37 on episode 37 here tonight. And then finally, we'll finish with our weekly gambling corner. You boys ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, the Granite Grind soon to be back in action. The boys will be on the ice this week after a long hiatus during the winter break. The Granite will host the Nickel College Bison this Saturday, January 21st. Puck drop will be at 7 p.m. Bob, what's the tone in the locker room first game back?
Yeah, the boys are just eager to get back out there. Been over a month since we played our last game. Just high intensity practices, getting puck touches, just getting our legs going most of the time, and we're looking forward to it. It was our first ever win was against Nichols, first ever win in the program. So hopefully we get another one.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the season sweep on those guys. That was a shootout the last game. Wasn't it 8-7?
It was 7-6, and
7-6.
And I'll never forget this, dude. It was so bullshit. So we go up to we go up 7-5, and we go out there whatever. I go out there right after we score, and then we're just kind of in our own zone, like kind of getting wheeled on, and then like the puck comes out and Asher makes like a 6 save, and I'm just standing out in front, and it goes off my skate and in to make it 7-6, and I was just like, I was sweating, dude. And I'm like, yo, if they tie this somehow and we somehow blow this, it's kind of on me. It was like one of those situations you thought it was like, oh no, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we get another dub.
Yeah, I mean, I know you boys are excited. I'm excited. We hope to see some of you there Saturday night, 7 p.m. puck drop. Boys are taking on Nichols College. Should be a good one. All right, let's get into NHL recap from the past week, starting with the Boston Bruins. So since our last episode, the Bruins lost to a red-hot Seattle Kraken team, which was their first regulation loss at home this season. But they did bounce back with a couple wins over the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-3 on Saturday, and then they blanked the Philadelphia Flyers 6-0 on Monday night. Boys, what are your thoughts on the Bees from this past week?
Yeah, I mean, they played a real tough Kraken team. This is probably the toughest team in the league, let's be honest. They won 7 road games in a row, and that was an NHL record, by the way. 7 road games in a row. Like, just unbelievable. They played us tough. They just won battles in the corners. They just wanted it more, honestly. And Martin Jones played unbelievable in that. And then got check time going into playing against Toronto. Paid him back for the loss earlier in the year. Had a big time goal by Matt Grzelcyk. I know we're pretty hard on him on the podcast, but he's been stepping it up lately. He's been actually producing offensively, and just absolutely just shit on a abysmal Flyers team. They're so bad. They look so bad against us. We just bullied them. Like it was bad. What do you think, Vinny?
Yeah, I mean, pretty buzzsaw schedule for the Bees. Like when it came to like them beating teams, though, like not like they were getting ran out, but like they beat San Jose, Anaheim, and then they ran into Seattle. It was just a heavy team. It seemed like that one was coming, for the Bees. Seattle plays such a different style defensively, and they are opportunists when it comes to scoring, so they make the most of their opportunities, which is tough. What they need, I think what they needed the most was that Toronto win, because that's the team they're going to probably meet in the playoffs, I would think. Not the first round, maybe the second, but they battled that one out. And since they got shut out against Seattle, you knew they were going to put up some goals. Then Philly might as well stepped off the bus, and they
couldn't even keep up with us. It was bad. They didn't even deserve to be on the same ice as us.
Yeah, they that goal that Pavel Zacha scored was absolutely filthy and disgusting, and they should have never let if a good team just don't let those type of goals go, especially from almost the blue line, 1T. Yeah, they absolutely buzzsawed them, and it's just teams like the Seattle Kraken. Obviously, you don't have to worry about Seattle in the playoffs, but if you go in see other teams that play like that, maybe an Islanders team that they're playing tonight, look at these games closely, because this is the competition that is going to be the tough test for the Bees.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. The Kraken game kind of is what it is. Kraken were red hot. They just wanted it more than us that night. Not worried about it. I think if we get them again, we'd probably pull out a dub in that game. I'd say so, but we won't see them in the playoffs, so I'm not worried about it. Love to see them battle Toronto, get a little redemption from earlier in the season, because Snipsky, like you said, that's a team we're most likely going to see in the playoffs, whether it be first round, second round. So it was good to see them get a dub against them, and then just taking care of business, like they're taking out the trash against the Philadelphia Flyers. I mean, it was good to see them just come in and dominate a game from start to finish on a team like the Flyers. But I think the biggest thing for me was Monday night's game, seeing Sway Daddy back and looking in his prime form again. I mean, first shutout of the season for Sway. He just helps the team so much when he's on his game, because gives us an opportunity for Ullmark to get some much needed rest. And then just always a good feeling when you're confident in your backup and you can trust him to go out and give you an opportunity to give you 2 points on any given night. And I think Ullmark and Swayman are the best goalie tandem in the league, hands down. I don't think it's really close either.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's great that you have that confidence in your backup, like you said. And Was it? It was his first shutout since like early last year, so he's getting back in the swing of
I think
things.
he had 5 last year.
Yeah.
So I think it said it was his 6th career, which I didn't realize he had 5 shutouts last year.
Yeah, he went crazy last year. He was the guy last year for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just everything's going so smoothly for the Bruins right now, which is kind of scaring me in a sense, because that's usually how it goes smoothly in the regular season. Then you start hitting a rocky road, like down like the road you shouldn't be hitting rocky roads on. But yeah, right now the Bruins are just looking top tier, and it's really fun to watch them every night.
Yeah, the old throw you for a loop, pull out the chair when you're trying to sit down type of thing with the Bruins. Especially around playoff time, like they always get there. They always put up high points in the regular season, especially with Bruce Cassidy. And people act like, oh yeah, I've never seen this before with the Montgomery thing. Yeah, the hot start, but like Cassidy a couple of years where we putting up 100+ points. Maybe not President's Cup winning, but
close,
teams
though.
that
Close,
like probably like 110 points, like 100,
Eastern Conference.
Yeah, like not maybe the highest point total, but also like getting there. And like I don't see much of a difference between it, other than maybe the guys have more freedom out on the ice, and especially the defensemen. It's just I just need to see them produce consistently all the way through the playoffs. No, getting beaten, and just it seemed like they gave up a couple times back in the day. It's just like they get outworked, outplayed, like Blues, like stuff like that, and then Carolina last year was like they kind of just got outmanned, and it's just like hopefully it's different.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about teams like that can't get over the hump, and that's the Boston Bruins. I mean, we've won 1 Stanley Cup in the last 50 years for a reason, and we haven't had many down years in that time either. Like you said, we're always right in the hunt, and then just something falls apart in the playoffs, whether we do end up making to the Cup Finals and then just can't finish the job. But you just really hope that this year is different, and you hope that they're playing this type of hockey come playoff time, because if they're not, then it's really all for nothing. You can, enjoy the hot start as much as you want, but what really matters is, come postseason time, that they're playing this type of hockey and, like you said, kind of follow it through all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. I just hope this is the team that can get the job done with the window closing with some of these guys, Bergy, Marshy, Pasta. I know they're talking about the contract extensions. Don't know where it's going. I'm hearing some good things, hearing some bad things, but you just only know so much about the future, so you got to take advantage of what we've been doing this year.
Yeah, I mean, they locked up Zaka earlier this week, and that's definitely a Pasternak thing, I think, because he's a Czech guy, and
yeah,
they like probably playing together, like grew up whatever together and want to play, which is fine. I don't really love how that's like it's a thing, but I mean, it's just Pasternak. It's gonna be a high number. It's gonna be like 10. It's gonna be 10-5 to 11. Yeah. And
you gotta pay him though.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, but it's like
you can't let that guy walk.
Yeah, it's tough because I was hearing earlier with the Jake DeBrusk thing being on LTIR, we can't make a move for a defenseman yet or any other player because we have money on the LTIR, so we can't like move money around. So we'd have to like trade like a Craig Smith, a Charlie Coyle.
Well, we try to trade Craig.
Yeah,
I put him on waivers.
Yeah, we'd have to like get rid of money to take money in. So it's like one of those like, oh yeah, we'll give you Craig Smith and a couple like maybe picks
and a bag of pucks.
Yeah, like I heard that kid Luke Shen. He won the cup with the Lightning a few years ago, and he was like their 7th defenseman. Like not really a top 4 guy, like, but he's like a forward type, which he leads the league right now in hits, and he plays for the Nucks, so it's like probably bag of pucks, Yeah, like
pack your bags,
what did he say? The GM for the Nucks,
they said they want Bedard.
Yeah,
they pretty much said they want Bedard.
Yeah, he had a friggin' press conference and goes, "Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you. I'd be down to tank for Bedard." It's like, Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that wasn't obvious.
It's
at
like, yeah,
all.
word, dude. That was, way to completely blow your cover.
Yeah.
Look like a scumbag.
Yeah, that should
Dude,
be
if
like
I was
a
a Canucks
fine or
fan, I'd be
something.
pissed. Imagine hearing that. It's like, yeah, like imagine Don Sweeney's like, yeah, what tank? And everyone's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, at least be subtle. Like, yeah, trade your whole team away. Then you can say you're tanking without you saying it, and
Yeah,
Be
that
about
team's a dumpster fire, but and we knew that. We saw that coming from a mile away. They haven't had that shit together in a while. But yeah, you just only hope that the Bruins can keep this up. It's been good times, but I'm just afraid those bad times are lurking right around the corner.
It's lurking.
got to make a
Right?
move.
It's like death just creeping up on you in its cape and sitting in the shadows.
All the good.
It's like a
teams make
drunk
moves
uncle on
before the
Thanksgiving,
deadline.
dude. He's lurking.
Oh, God. All right. Why don't we move on to our next topic, which has been a little controversial. So I'm not sure if you boys heard about this matter or not yet. So the other night, the Philadelphia Flyers were taking part in what they call Pride Night to support the LGBTQ community. But one player decided not to take part in that, and it was Philly Flyers defenseman Ivan Provorov, who chose not to take part in pregame warmups before Tuesday's contest against the Anaheim Ducks. Provorov declined to really elaborate on the matter during a post-game interview, but what's your boys' thoughts on this?
I mean, people have their own religion and their own thoughts and whatever. And I mean, I believe that people should do whatever the hell they want, but I mean, he's under contract, and you have to like do things under contract. You know what I mean? Like if your organization tells you to do something, you got to do it. It's like your boss being like, "Hey, like participate in this. You got to, you know what I mean? Do it."
Yeah, right.
But like the other thing, like it's people are just blowing it up, man. Like I get it.
agree.
I get it. Like it's to support like a group of people, like whatever, like whatever. But just leave the guy alone. Like it's just a decision. It's his religion and everything, and he's Russian as well. So are you really that shocked? So I don't know. What's your thoughts on it, Vinny?
Yeah, along the same lines. I mean, it's just do what you want to do. Like I get like he's under contract and stuff, but I mean, still like he's a really good player, and I guess it's tough to say because like I know he gets paid and they tell him to do what he wants to do, but also he's Russian and like he has like it's like an Orthodox Christian thing or something with the Russians. But yeah, it's tough. I support. I mean, like I guess I would like definitely like do what I wanted to do too. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, people are gonna have their opinions on this. I'm kind of torn on it personally because part of me says, why are we making a big deal out of this in the first place? I mean, if the guy's religion doesn't support the LGBTQ community and he wants to stay true to his religion, then I think we should respect that. But then there's another part of me that says, all right, it's 2023 now, and I think that people should be a little more open to topics like this and be a little more supportive of any community, no matter what their ethnicity is or their sexual orientation is. I mean, especially athletes too. Like you're a role model for kids, and you get paid millions of dollars to play a sport that you love since you were grown up as a kid. I mean, would it really kill you to throw on a Pride jersey and then hop out there for a 10-minute warm up? Probably not, but I just think it just makes me more angry that the media even blows this up into a story and that we're honestly even talking about it right now. But, you talk about the negatives and stuff all the time, and I just feel like people are never highlighting the positives enough.
Yeah, I agree. It's just leave it alone. Just let the guy play hockey. And the other side of it too is just like, yeah, he's getting paid millions of dollars. You just like fucking put on a jersey, you just put the tape on your blade.
Yeah.
Like,
also, I just like don't like how they like have to force your hand. You know what I mean? And your thoughts, kind of too. It's like, oh, you have to. It's like, well, don't have to. You know what I mean? Like just anything in general.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at it too from like a player's perspective. Like, what if you're his teammate? Like, you gonna want to play for him? Like, he's got to think of that too. Like, he is part of a team. If the whole team's participating in it, then like, I don't know, maybe you should kind of go with the crowd. But I don't know. Then I guess you're just a follower, and you're a sheep like the rest of us. But I don't know. Yeah, you can look at it either way.
Or will Putin have his head on a stick? I don't know.
Well, I'm
Maybe,
sure.
Yeah, maybe he's got his family or something.
Yeah,
Who
like
knows?
Panarin.
Well, I'm sure like Tarasenko, Ovechkin, and all of them have. I'm sure they've probably participated in this because like apparently like there hasn't been a story yet about them not participating in this certain event.
Was it just the Flyers doing it that night?
Yeah, it was probably like their.
I think it
their
was.
gay
Their,
pride
I
night
think
or
it was
something.
just their night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a.
They do like random nights and then whatever, and there's a Pride Month and everything. I forget even what month it is, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's a controversial topic. I just feel like, it was good for us to kind of express our opinions on it. And, I'd be open to other people's opinions on it as well and love to have a conversation with anyone about the matter. But moving on, this is a kind of a wild story. I don't know if you guys have heard this one yet either. So it involves Vegas Golden Knights goaltender Robin Lehner.
Oh, yeah.
And his wife have filed for bankruptcy, citing up to $50 million in debt to dozens of creditors. The couple reportedly owes money to no fewer than 50 different people and companies. They filed for bankruptcy back on December 30th, months after a Wisconsin company sued Lehner for $4 million, claiming that the NHL player failed to make any payments on a business loan from last year. And then Lehner also missed payments for a collection of exotic snakes for his reptile farm that he purchased in 2017 for $1.2 million. So it just sounds like a couple bad business investments went south for Lehner, and now he's found himself in $50 million worth of debt. I mean, what's your boys' thoughts on this? This is just bizarre.
This might be worse than Evander Kane.
I don't know. It might be.
What was Evander Kane's number though? I feel like it was higher than that.
No, it was probably higher, but no, but like his
He
is
was
like
making more money.
Yeah,
but the thing is, Evander Kane was just I'm sure like Robin Lehner gambled too. He lives in fucking Vegas. That's Vegas. But like
Vegas, baby.
Yeah, it's Vegas, baby. No, but like Evander Kane was mostly just betting, sports betting. But Robin Lehner's was just like Coco said, failed business, like business decisions, like business, like whatever. Bro, and he hit like what he bought like a fucking exotic snake farm. You don't fucking need that. And what, dude, honestly, and what like I'm gonna say this right here, dude. I'm gonna say this right here. I've seen this shit on the internet. Who the fuck has snakes as a pet? That's such a weird thing to do. Like you're just get a dog, dude, or a kitten, or like whatever. Like get a hamster, like a normal fucking person. You know what I mean? Like shout out Jack. My brother Jack had a snake growing up. But like besides the fact, like. I don't know. Like that's such a weird thing to me, and I don't know. It makes no sense to me that Robin Lehner is in that much debt, and you like. I don't get how you're a pro athlete making this much money, and you're just willing to throw it away for no reason. You know what I mean? Just throwing it around.
It's a lot of coke and strippers.
Yeah.
Did we mention how much he was making? How much
I think he's on contract for 5 years, 25 million.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, see?
Half his money.
He's just throwing that shit around. He's fucked. And no one wants to sign him, dude. He's like washed up now.
Well, he's recovering from hip surgery.
There's no way that no one's gonna touch him now.
Yeah. I mean, like, unless it seems like desperate and it's just like, yeah, we'll pay your debt off for you, you bum.
I mean, yeah, we saw a similar situation with Evander Kane filing for bankruptcy, but like you said, Bob, like that was due to gambling, and like gambling is an addiction. You can literally be addicted and blow all your money on gambling. Like that makes sense to me. This just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like you lost $50 million worth of business investments. Like how can you make that many bad investments and lose that much money? Like you're buying fucking exotic snake farms. Like what are you doing? Like, it's just wild. Like I guess, it just baffles me, and he's lucky he signed that 5-year, $25 million contract back in 2020 because I don't think Lehner will ever see the ice again. He's 31 years old coming off hip surgery, like you said, Snipsky, and that's never a good sign for a goalie.
Yeah, if you get a hip surgery, like look at Tuukka.
Yeah,
Tuukka had a hip surgery, and he played 1 year and was just see ya. Like I suck. I'm sorry. I'm done. Yeah,
he was kind of like getting washed anyway. Lehner.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean. Like Lehner always struck me as a weird guy. I mean, he's a goalie, so I guess it doesn't surprise me, but just like, what are you doing? Like, what's up with the snake farm? I can't get over it. Like, what's the thought process?
He just like, he probably gets high and just lays in like with them and shit like that, let him slither all over him like a weirdo.
Takes his couple Xannies for his hip, just lays there.
I mean, I guess this should be a lesson learned to our listeners out there. Just, be smart with your money because this guy clearly wasn't. I mean, my opinion, money management is key to success in life. You could be a McDonald's drive-through worker or some CEO of some cyber tech company. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're good at managing your money and you don't spend it on dumb shit, then you're going to be just fine.
I agree.
That's my advice of the day. I did study a little business back in college, so may or may not know what I'm talking about.
I wasn't drunk for all my classes.
Just to be clear, I majored in consuming Busch Lights, minored in business to set the record straight on that.
Nasty. I helped
All
you
right,
out too.
Yeah, oh yeah. I owe a lot of people some credit for my degree. A couple quick hitters before we move on. Ottawa Senators forward Josh Norris is returning to the lineup Wednesday night after a 38-game absence. Philadelphia Flyers' Kevin Hayes recorded his first career hat trick Tuesday night in their 5-2 win over the Anaheim Ducks. The Edmonton Oilers' Evander Kane has also returned to the lineup after a 31-game absence. Minnesota Wild have signed forward Matt Boldy to a 7-year, $49 million deal. And Bruins have signed Pavel Zacha to a 4-year extension with $4.75 million per year. And lastly, a little fun fact, 65 years ago today, Willie O'Ree made his NHL debut, becoming the first black player in league history.
Willie, that legend. That fucking legend.
He's such a legend. I see him every year, and I'm like, just gets me fired up because he used to just bang people up.
Yeah, he's the man.
Old school hockey.
Absolutely. Gotta love that shit. Now it's getting a little soft, but that's besides the point. So, Matt Boldy, 7-year, local guy, fucking ripping it up in the NHL, man. Imagine being that young. I think he's like 20, 21. He already has a 7-year deal.
49 mil.
That's insane. Dude, like, I would get like a sick whip if I was him. I can see him just getting like a Corvette. Actually, no, it wouldn't make sense. He's in Minnesota. It's probably snowing like crazy.
I'd
over
get
there.
a sick truck.
Yeah, get a truck.
Sick Ford or something.
Get a Raptor.
Yeah.
The Raptors. Those things are like the mad expensive. Nice though. Yeah, the Matt Boldy. I like that signing. From North Shore, Mass. How are you? Jack Eichel. He's going to be good. I've always been a fan of him. He's always in the right place, in the middle of the ice, tipping pucks, even on the outside, making the right pass, scoring goals. He's going to be good. That Minnesota team's built for the future.
His first ever goal was against the Bruins.
Oh, yeah. Last year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he's a BC guy.
Yeah, he went to BC.
Oh, yeah. He was on that World Juniors team, too, that one goal.
Yep.
They were
He was like a third liner, too, which is crazy.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Local guy, Matt Boldy, getting a bag, 49 mil. Hopefully takes a page out of Leonard's book, doesn't blow it all
Yeah.
on exotic snakes.
No, he's going to get some exotic women. He's going to spend it actually correctly.
He's going to Vegas strippy for the weekend.
Yeah, facts.
All right, why don't we get into a little Mass high school hockey roundup from the past week? We had a lot of action this week, boys, across all 4 divisions. A lot of premier matchups across the state. Let's start with D1, where number 1 St. John's Prep remains in the top spot after notching a pair of Catholic Conference wins, downing number 17 St. John Shrewsbury and number 19 Malden Catholic. The Eagles have 2 more huge tilts this weekend against Zavarian on Wednesday and then BC High on Sunday. Number 2 Catholic Memorial also knocked off St. John Shrewsbury and blanked BC High 5-0 in their rivalry matchup this past week. Upcoming for the Knights is Malden Catholic Wednesday night and Zavarian on Saturday. Number 3 Pope Francis got through the week unscathed and moved all the way up to number 3, getting wins over Bridgewater Raynham, who is currently undefeated, and number 16 Lincoln Sudbury. The Cardinals have a huge tilt with number 7 Reading on Monday night at Burbank Arena. A couple more teams here who are in action. Number 4 Hingham tied rival Braintree 2-2 and is primed for a big game on Monday when they take on number 10 St. Mary's. They also have Framingham on Wednesday and Winchester on Saturday. And then lastly, Wellesley. Felt like they needed some recognition. They're 8-0 and the only unbeaten team remaining in Division 1. They only had one result this week. They had a 3-2 win over Framingham. The Raiders will be tested Monday against Braintree. Boys, what's your thoughts on all that action from Division 1?
Well, it seems like CM's back in stride.
Oh, yeah.
Just rinsing teams. That's crazy. Back number 2 in the state and everything, so.
5-0 pump show over BC High, too.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, Jesus, 5-0 over BC High. That's like legit. That's
those
legit.
games are usually tight.
Yeah.
Has Wellesley played like anybody? Any of those teams? Or are they just?
I don't know if they've played any top 10 teams yet, but I mean, They play in a decent division, with those teams out near Boston, Wellesley, who they got Framingham out there. Well, I think Winchester, Chelmsford,
Winchestertonville.
maybe. Yeah, maybe Chelmsford. They play in a decent division, but that's gonna be a big one when they face Braintree on Monday.
Yeah, Braintree's good.
The Womps.
The Womps, yeah, they tied Hingham this week 2-2. But I mean, the action was pretty spread across Division One. We saw some movement. Pope Francis, haven't really talked about them. They've been kind of making some noise, and they got a big one against number 7 Reading, and then that's going to be a big till and probably shake up the standings here a little bit. But yeah, BC High is now falling out of the top 10.
Oh man,
I wouldn't count them out, but they're hitting a bit of a schneid right now, so they're gonna have to hop back on the wagon soon.
Shit, they get off the pot.
yeah, the Knights are back. The Knights shutting them out. That's a big win, like the rivalry there.
Yeah, that's a statement win too.
Yeah.
That's a big statement. All right, let's take a look at Division 2, where we have a new number 1 in this week's Hockey Night in Boston Boys Division 2 Top 10, and it's Canton who has taken over the top spot. The Bulldogs continue to impress. They earned 2 more wins this week over Oliver Ames and King Philip. So Canton is now the top dog in D2. Number 3, Silver Lake stayed the same. The Lakers won their lone game of the week against North Quincy 5-1. They do have a key game looming on Wednesday with Scituate. Duxbury holds down the number 4 spot this week. They had 2 more wins this week against Plymouth North and Quincy High. The Dragons have a second tilt with Marshfield on Monday, and then they play number 6 Whitman Hanson on Saturday. And speaking of Whitman Hanson coming in at number 6, they moved up quite a bit in the standings. The Panthers have a big week coming up, 3 games against Neshoba Regional, number 8 Plymouth South, and then number 4 Duxbury. And then lastly, a team I don't think we've really talked about this year, cracked the top 10 for the first time this year, is number 8 Plymouth South. They had a thrilling 4-3 OT win over Scituate and then beat Oliver Ames in a close one, 2-1. They got that big game against Whitman Hanson and then Hanover on deck for them this week. So, boys, what do you think about Division 2 with our new number 1, Canton?
Not shocked. Not shocked one bit. Canton's always been a wagon. Always will be for some weird reason. But I think there's something in the water in Canton. And also the Lake Show. The fucking Lake Show. They came and pumped our North Quincy Red Raiders, unfortunately, but
yeah, they had to do it.
They had to do it, man. Had to do it. I saw the results. Joe Zappi with the reporting. I saw it on a story. 5-1 on the scoreboard. Like, geez.
Joe Zappi scored the only goal.
Yeah, Zappi went out there, went bar down. No, but no. So you said Plymouth South, Plymouth North. Which Plymouth did you talk?
South.
Yeah, Plymouth South. So they went to OT, won an OT. You know what's crazy? Gibba told me this the other night. There's no more ties. There's you go into 3-on-3 OT.
We could have used that my senior
which
year.
is fucking sick. Yeah, our senior year, dude.
Eight ties.
Yeah, we had 8 years. 8 ties. Vinny's senior year.
Oh man,
it was nuts. Like it was the most ties I've ever.
We still had 8 wins. We had 24 points.
We had mad points. We had mad points. Yeah, that was nuts.
A ton of ties, 1-1, 2-2.
Yeah,
we only had 4 losses that year.
Yeah, 8-4-8.
Yeah, we only lost 4 games, which is say if they did convert some of those games to OT, that could have been a fucking monster year.
or we could have had an awful year.
Yeah, either one. But I mean,
OT would have been sick. I wish we had OT. 3-on-3 OT.
Is that what they do? 5 minutes, like the pros?
Yeah. No. Well, no. I think it's set up because college does that too. D1 college does 3-on-3 OT, and if no one scores, they just call it a tie.
Tie.
Yeah. There's no shootout.
I think if you win OT, you get 2 points, and then if you lose OT, you get 1.
Yeah.
So you're guaranteed a point no matter what if you go to overtime.
Oh, so you get a participation trophy.
Yeah, and then if there's no one scores in that 5-minute OT, then it's 1 point each. It's just tying.
Yeah, but Canton, number 1, doesn't surprise any of us. We know about Canton and their reputation. But I just want so badly for this podcast, and I guess just selfishly, I want to see Silver Lake make a run this year.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Win a state title.
It's just because we played them and had hard, tough, battle games against them, and they never weren't really that good. And it's just crazy to me that I can
relate to Silver Lake. I can relate to those guys.
Exactly, because we played them so much in our career. So it's just nice to see a team like that just actually be high in the standings.
Yeah, we're gonna be pulling for Silver Lake big time come state playoffs, and we might have to be boots on the ground for their
Yeah,
for their
for
state
the Lake
game.
show.
We have to, I think, at this point, because we've been the biggest Silver Lake supporters, I think, in the state, besides probably the parents of the players
Yeah.
on that team. No one loves the Lake Show more than us, I'll tell you that.
You just see me carrying the pucks up to the bench when you guys
Yeah,
are the game.
Me and Coco are filling the waters between periods and shit. Well, and when we're going out there, we're like, oh, come on, boys, let's get one.
I'll do whatever they need. I'll do the waters.
Yeah.
I'll give massages pregame. What do they need?
I'll bring in the
equipment staff.
I'll bring in the Theragun. Get the boys ready. Get them right.
All right, let's move on to some D3 action where Linfield remains in the top spot. They had a 9-3 win over North Reading this week and a 4-1 win over Groton Dunstable. The Pioneers face D2 Westwood on Monday, so that should be a good test for them. Medfield comes in at number 2 this week. They've extended their winning streak to 7 straight games after beating Dover, Sherborne, and Dedham, both by 5-3 scores. They have a non-league game with Hopedale coming up on Monday. Number 3, Scituate split both its games this week, beating Plymouth North 2-1, and then falling to Plymouth North 4-3 in OT. A big one looms with Silver Lake on Wednesday. Hanover's coming in at number 5. They defeated Quincy 5-2 and then lost to Marshfield 4-0 on Saturday. The tough slate continues for Hanover as they got Marlborough Monday, Norwell on Wednesday, and then Plymouth South on Saturday. So not getting any easier for Hanover.
That's a buzzsaw.
They've had a tough schedule this year. But lastly, one more team in Division 3 I wanted to highlight. They've moved all the way up to number 6. It's Essex Tech. They're 8-0-1, unbeaten. They had a win over Minutemen Tech this weekend. They have a Commonwealth Conference showdown with Shawsheen Tech. I heard of them though.
Yeah, definitely heard of them.
For Monday.
Scumbag.
What's your thoughts on D3, boys?
Minutemen Tech, what the fuck is that, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like Bishop Sycamores.
Yeah. That sounds fake. Yeah, but honestly, like the D3 seems like it's pretty like set in stone. Like who's going to be like the top teams in that division? It seems like.
Yeah, Linfield, Medfield, rolling. But me and Snipsky were talking about this last week, and I'll say it again. You'd have to be a moron to count out the Hanover team. I mean, I don't care what their record says. 3-4-2 right now. Number 5 in D3. I don't care where they finish. As long as they get in the tournament, I consider them favorites to win it.
They're like the Tampa Bay Lightning. Can't count them out.
Exactly.
You can't win.
You can't count out Hanover in the tournament.
You can't win unless you can't get in. So, that's all you got to do is just rack up those points.
Is that what they say, Vinny?
Yeah.
But it's just like there's got to be some idiots out there saying, "Oh, Hanover's done. Dynasty's over. They graduate too many seniors. Whatever. They lost too many kids to juniors." No,
it's like Tom Brady. It's like Tom Brady's finished. He got smoked by Dak. He's finished.
I'm telling you now, do not sleep on Hanover because they're going to make some noise in the tournament. And I think it might be better off for them coming in as a lower seed here. Not being one of the top seeds with the target on their back, they're going to fly right under the radar. Team's going to take them lightly. Next thing you know, they're back in the state finals. Clip this a month from now and tell me how it's wrong. All right, let's finish up with some D4 action where Norwell stays in the number 1 spot. The Clippers continue to be strong. They had 2 more wins this week over Middleborough and Rockland. They have Hanover coming up on Wednesday and then Cohasset Hull. And what will be an interesting week for Norwell. Kind of true test to see what this team is made of this week. See how good they actually are. Number 2, Sandwich, is holding down the 2 spot as they had 2 huge wins this week. The Blue Knights blanked Falmouth 3-0 and then took down Grafton 3-2. They got Barnstable and Pembroke on deck. Cohasset Hull returned to action this week after nearly 2 weeks off. I don't know who was in charge of their scheduling to put a 2-week break in the middle of the season.
Sick AD.
That's beyond me.
You need a tourney in between that.
No kidding. So they were back in action. They tied Rockland 1-1 and then beat East West Bridgewater 3-2 to stay undefeated. And a couple teams rounding out the top 10 are the Island Boys. So coming in at number 9 is Martha's Vineyard. Snipsky and I were talking about them last week. Yep. They've continued to roll. Now have won 7 straight after starting the season, 0-3. The Vineyards, The Vineyarders had 2 more wins this week, and they have a big one coming up on Wednesday with Dennis Yarmouth when they travel to the Cape to take on the Dolphins. And then Nantucket comes in at number 10. They're actually a newcomer, first time in the top 10 this year. They're 3-4, coming off a big 3-1 win over previously undefeated Dennis Yarmouth. And they're going to look to keep it rolling this week. They got John Paul II and Bishop Stang on their schedule this week. Boys, thoughts? Let's hear it.
Noel might actually lose the Hanover. This might be their they're kicking the dick. Hey, Hanover's pissed, dude. Hanover's pissed. They got to kick some dicks this weekend.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Norwell got the best of them first time around, so Hanover's going to be out for revenge. So Norwell's going to have to take a couple punches on the chin, I think, coming out of the gates here. But we'll see. They're loaded this year. They've been rolling, haven't really been tested too often. But this is going to be a big one for them. If they can beat Hanover for a second time this year, I think it's, everyone else can take a back seat in Division 4, if you ask me.
Congratulations to the Nantucket Reds getting in the top 10.
That's what they're called, the Reds?
No. No, they just, you know how the Nantucket people dress during the summer.
Yeah,
with like the red shorts.
I'm surprised they're not the Vineyarders.
Yeah.
Pastels.
Yeah, the what do they call them? They wear the whale shirts or whatever they're called. The Vineyard. Oh no! Oh man, sorry, I didn't mean that's Vineyard Vine. Sorry.
Yeah, Nantucket, their uniform.
That was racist.
Their uniform sponsored by Vineyard Vines, and then when when Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket play each other, it's like a huge rivalry.
Oh, it is actually.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
A huge rivalry.
Weren't they play? Did they play last week? And we were talking about them, right?
Yeah, I think Martha's Vineyard got the win in that one.
Yeah,
I remember us talking about them. That was a battle for who's got the better summer house.
Yeah, who's got the bigger boat?
My dad has a bigger yacht than you.
I was gonna say how much money of daddy's money they have to spend to get in the top 10.
yeah, they're 3-4 in the top 10. They just get paid off the Hockey Night.
I
Boston
also
people.
said I was like, I'm surprised their name's not the Millionaires. But
yeah,
it'd be a little more fitting. But yeah, I'll give Nantucket some credit. That's a big win, given DY their first loss of the year. I mean, hey, it's not easy traveling Nantucket this time of year, playing in their barn. I'll tell you that. No one wants to make that ferry trip in January or February when you're freezing your balls off. And,
it's a bitch.
Taking a hour ferry, then unpacking the bus, loading it back up.
It's a lot of moving parts,
dude. It sucks.
Yeah, Coco,
I've done it.
Me and Coco have done it so much. For some reason, we did like 2 years in a row, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah, it was brutal.
We went to the Vineyard twice.
And then you get off the ferry when you get there, and it's just like you look around, you're like, what is this?
Yeah, and then you don't feel like playing hockey after, dude. You're just so tired.
Is there gonna be a zombie coming out like somewhere, like an alleyway?
Yeah, no, there will be a zombie. It'll be some guy just like all like coked up or like on heroin.
Yeah, that's the zombie. Some guy was just shooting up.
Yeah, he like one of the locals actually stays there year round.
The real one.
Yeah, the real local.
Yeah, but hey, the action was packed this week for Mass High School hockey. We're officially at the halfway point of the season. So, it's going to be make or break time for some of these teams coming down the stretch. And it's going to be state playoff time before we know it. Come late February, early March.
We might have to be at the Garden for those championship games.
We'll be there.
And the Bean Pot's coming up.
On Champagne Sunday. We'll be at the Garden on Champagne Sunday.
Might have to get the liquid IVs like stocked up for that one.
Little PS coffee, how you doing?
yeah.
Red Bull Ricky.
Yeah, that's all I need is Red Bull or Ricky. I'd be fine.
That shit's literally just like crack. Like put that in an IV, you're good to go.
Yeah, right.
And
straight to your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like connected to like a PS cup. It just comes down through the vein.
If you put that in a bag, dude, it literally look like blood. It looked like you're putting blood in you. It'll be like a blood transfusion. Everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Why are you injecting heroin?
It's like, I'm just
injecting heroin in your veins like that?"
I'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's MIA playoffs. So I'm getting dialed in real quick."
Gotta get dialed in. All right, let's move on to our next segment. So we all thought, it was only fitting that tonight on episode 37, we honor the great number 37 of the Boston Bruins, our captain, Patrice Bergeron, by reliving some of our favorite moments from his career. So we're each going to give our favorite Bergy moment. Bob, why don't we start with you? What's your favorite Bergeron moment from his career in Boston?
First, I want to do an ode to my captain. Oh, captain, my captain. So, Patrice Bergeron, my favorite moment. It's probably a lot of people's favorite moment. 2013 Game 7 against the Toronto Maple Leafs at TD Garden. We were down 4-1 after 2 or after 1. I forget which period it was. But we were down 4-1.
4-1 going into
the third.
Going into the third, and everyone was like, "We're all done." I'll never forget this. I was in my actually me and Vinny were in his room watching it, and dude, it was so just like heartbreaking watching it. Kadri had 2 goals, that fucking rat, or whatever, and then. Going to the third period, just unbelievable comeback. Lucic scores, Char scores, I think, and then Bergeron scores from the blue line with like 30 seconds left. It was electric as shit. It was like the most insane like celly I've ever seen. Goes into overtime, minute into overtime. Nice little like shot by Sagan, I think, and it goes right off deflected, whatever, right to Bergeron in the slot, just buries it, electric, and.
Place went nuts.
Nuts. James Reimer just like was laying on the ice for 20 minutes, contemplating his life. He was like, "Well, I'm cut. There goes my career." Like it was unbelievable.
In the famous call by I think it was Judd Surratt or it was either one of the Bruins. Like Bergeron.
And then everyone just bricked up in the stands, like doesn't like rabid fucking dogs.
I love how he went to the center of the ice and Selly too.
Yeah, it was
so
unreal.
nasty. I think it was the game tying goal.
Yeah, the game tying goal is like the best Selly I've ever seen Bergeron have.
Blue line, wasn't it?
Yeah, he shot from the blue line. Shouldn't have went in. Like definitely should not have went in. It had eyes.
It was like through a screen. Yeah, thing literally just had eyes.
Yeah, it like knuckle pucked in. It was crazy. Because Bergeron was really that hard of a shot. He like kind of sauced it and went in. And then he like just went down on one knee and just like punched the ice in the middle of the ice. And then everyone just came in and jumped on him. It was so nuts. It was so sick.
Oh, yeah. I'll never forget that moment. I remember exactly where I was, too. I was in our buddy JR's basement. We're boozing for the game. We're down 4-1 going to the third. We're all just, like, sunken into the couch, down in the dumps. Just like, give me another beer, dude. Season's over. Next thing you know, we pump in 3. I remember when we tied it, we all just went nuts, started, like, beer showering and ceiling. Just going nuts, losing our shit. And then, the OT winner, we went bananas. And we're like, all right, straight to the rock. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Got sauced. Probably did some things I probably regret now that night. But, yeah, it was a hell of a night.
No regrets.
What were we like?
No regrets.
That was what were we, juniors in high school?
Yeah, it was junior year. Yeah.
Couldn't have been a better time.
Yeah.
Probably the peak of my career. Everything was downhill after that.
Peak of career and alcoholism.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what a night to be a high schooler on Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals against Toronto. No, not Eastern Conference. It was first round.
Yeah, I think it was first round, yeah. And that was the year we went to the Stanley Cup Final but lost to the Blackhawks.
Yeah. Those times weren't as good. But the one against the Leafs, beating them, being down, was unbelievable.
Yeah, unreal.
Snipsky, what do you got for your favorite?
So that was mentioned the Blackhawks Stanley Cup. It was a good segue. So I'm going from the same postseason. After the Chicago Blackhawks eliminated us in the 6 games of the Cup Final, 2013 Cup Final, it was revealed that Bergeron has played the deciding game with cracked ribs and a torn cartilage and a punctured lung suffered in the Game 5, plus a separated shoulder sustained during the first period of Game 6. I'll say that's ballsy. That's some of the ballsiest stuff I've ever heard.
That's a hockey guy if I've ever seen.
Like that is my moment. No, after finding that, I was like, that's the captain right there. I mean, we still had Chara, but that dude poured everything he had into like 2013, and you could really tell like the way he came back for us against the Leafs, and then later he absolutely gets canned. Anybody, like, knowing some of the guys on that team, who knows? They could have just bailed and said, nah, I'm good. But Patrice Bergeron's that dude.
Yeah, Bergeron, crawled out of that playoff like a war hero. Like, he should have got a Medal of Honor after fucking playing.
Should have been like Paul Pierce in the wheelchair.
Yeah, but he ain't a pussy, though.
Nah, that's not hockey players.
Dude, Paul Pierce literally had a cramp, and he's like, oh, get me on the
No, well, I guess supposedly he said he had to take a shit.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Just go take a dump then. Why you got to make a whole fucking thing?
He was prairie dogging, I guess.
Just run, dude.
It was that bad.
Fucking superstar athletes are stupid.
That's the way it sounded. Like, you can't get up and walk.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He must have had.
Just be a normal person. Walk to the bathroom.
It must have been peeking its head out.
That's when you start running, dude. You're a pro athlete. You can run. But back to that.
It's basketball, of course.
Back to Bergeron.
Yeah.
But that whole thing, like like Vinny said, he should have been the captain like years ago. Like he shouldn't have. It's great that he got it like last year and everything, but or 2 years ago technically. But Bergeron's been the captain and been such a leader and such a vocal point of our organization for so long that like just stuff like that just like wows you, man. Like it's so crazy. Like really putting your body on the line like that.
Oh yeah, it shows the leadership. Like we had Char, we had Bergeron, two like they played for different teams. They're captain on it, either one.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, Bergeron's been a living legend for the Bruins for the past like probably 10 years.
20 or knows.
Yeah,
it depends on how people look at
right,
it.
But I mean, yeah, it just shows the type of competitor he is, and then I'm just glad he's finally gotten the C at this point in his career. You know, might have been a little too late, but yeah, I mean, stuff like that, playing through ribs and punctured lungs, separated shoulders, just shows that guy's tough as nails, and he's a true competitor that will do anything to win. I'll give you guys my favorite Bergeron moment. It comes from a little bit before you guys. This was the 2011 playoffs, Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals in Vancouver. In the first period, off a face-off win by Bergy, Marchand scoops up the puck in the corner, finds Bergy, no other than in the bumper, and he buries one to get the boys on the board first. And then the rest is history after that. Bruins go on to win that game 4-0 and take home their first Stanley Cup in nearly 40 years. I mean, started with Bergy, ended with Bergy, and big piece on why we won that cup back in 2011.
Yeah, dude, nothing can express how much gratitude as like Boston fans that we have for Patrice Bergeron. He's just so loved by everyone just because like what Coco just said about like the leadership he like had in that Game 7. They weren't the prettiest goals, but like the thing is he did the nitty gritty. He like was in the right spot, Bergy in the bumper. They should have it on a fucking t-shirt. They should have like on like
literally.
Dude, they should have that.
Sounds like something to high, so I gotta do.
Yeah, it sounds like a merchandise idea for us. But yeah, like Bergeron, like that 2011 Game 7, you can tell like everyone in that game was just like standstill and like because it was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup in Canada. And like you can tell there's a lot of people, like they know there's a lot of eyes on him and shit like that. Like even the Canucks even said it too. Like I remember Kevin B actually got an interview and they're like, "Oh yeah, so what was your thoughts about that game? Like going into it?" He goes, "Dude, we were shit scared." He's like all like our locker room, everyone was just so quiet. Everyone was so fucking quiet. And then they said they saw the Bruins down the hall and they're just like acting like it's a different, like it's just another game, like playing like soccer, like fucking whatever, like dapping up, playing slap ass and shit like that. And they go out there and win. You know what I mean? Just like it just shows how like his Bergeron just knows how to keep the boys loose and knows how to lead.
Yeah, basically Bergeron burned down Vancouver that whole night. It was just so because like they rioted in the streets, absolutely crushed Vancouver.
Vancouver tore down their own city.
Yeah, Bergeron pretty much made it happen.
Imagine burning down your city over a fucking sports. I mean, like, there's definitely been a couple times that Boston's done it, but it's only when we win. When we lose, everyone just goes, get shit-faced and just tries to bring home some girl or something. But like,
they take it so serious.
Yeah, exactly. Just because it's like their pastime over there. Like, even win or lose, they're burning down the city.
And yeah, it's ironic it is because they haven't won a cup in 30 years. So.
I was going to say, that's just years of built-up frustration for them, you know, just never being able to, you know, take one home and – yeah, that's why we've been there. We've acted like we've been there when we win.
It's a bad look.
But just to think that was over 10 years ago that we won that Stanley Cup. I mean, it's about time we take home another one.
Yeah,
we've had too many shots at it. Like, I mean, that's where my cynical comes at it. Like, just been late leads blown, and you know, especially that Blackhawks one. That one was tough.
Yeah, we blew that so fucking bad.
Blues too.
Yeah, what?
Blues too.
Yeah, the Blues. Oh yeah. Yeah, the Blues one was like reverse roles. That was like we were Vancouver and they were the Bruins. You know what I mean? Like we shit ourselves in that Game 7 at home, you know.
I mean, in reality you can't win every single series, but we should have 2 out of 3, not 1 out of 3.
I think we should have the Blackhawks one. That was on Tuukka. That one wasn't the soft goal at the end.
Oh, you're talking about the best goalie in Bruins history?
You mean Linus Ullmark?
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess you can blame both on Tuca, but it's like I don't want to. I might get, they might be at at my door with a pitchfork after they hear this.
Fuck him.
There's a lot of Tuca riders out there. Be careful, Snips.
Yeah, no, I gotta watch my back.
All right, why don't we move into our final segment of the night, our gambling corner. To recap last week's records, Snipsky and myself, both 2-3 under 500. Bob was the only one with the winning week at 3-2. Update on the standings. I'm still in first by a slim margin, 32, 31-1, 51%. Bob is leapfrog back into second at 26 and 33, hitting at 44%. And Snipsky remains one game behind, 26 and 34, 43%. So pressure's still on, boys. Another big week. I'll be honest with you guys. I've been brutal lately.
Yeah.
On the show, not as bad, but like personally, I've been brutal. Can't buy a winner. So I don't know. Hoping for something to change this week. I don't know what I got to do, but I got to figure something out fast.
The tides have to turn, man, because I'm definitely. I mean, I'm either 2-3 or 3-2. I'm just like whatever.
That's
just
not bad though. That keeps you around. It's like
Yeah.
the 1-4 weeks or like 0-5 are like killer.
Oh, dude, the 1-4 weeks, I like literally like contemplate me as like a hockey guy. I'm just like, dude, I really know this fucking sport.
Or like when you go into the Sunday night game like 0-4 and you're just absolutely like ready to shoot a brick. Like I can't go 0-5.
And it doesn't even matter if you win or not, because you're like, oh, I gotta win, but fuck, I'm 1-4. You know what I mean? It doesn't even fucking matter.
Or I've started a week 1-0 and then have just lost the rest. It's like, oh yeah, I got my hopes up for nothing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
starting off 2-0 is the worst, because they say it's the worst league in hockey. It's the worst league in betting.
Yeah, literally. So I don't know. We need some winners this week. Let's see how we do. So let's start with Thursday, January 19th. We got the Tampa Bay Lightning heading north of the border to take on the Edmonton Oilers. This game will be on ESPN. Bob, why don't we start with you for this one? Lightning Oilers. What are you thinking here?
This is a tough one, dude. It's almost like a pick 'em. I'm gonna go with the under. I'm gonna bring O'Doul's to the campfire for this one.
Wow, starting off hot.
Yeah,
Here we go. Welcome to the gambling corner, everyone.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, stay tuned. It'll get better. It'll get better. No, Casey, Vasilevsky's gonna be in there, and the dude Skinner is pretty good too. So I'm gonna go with that. I suck at taking over and unders anyway, so it might blow up my face. It's gonna be like a fucking 9-8 game or something.
We got over 6.5. Tampa's favored -115. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's close to a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Snipsky, what are you thinking here?
I am going with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just straight up. Vasilevsky will be in net. Oilers have been 50-50 at home. It's tough to pass on the Lightning with this one.
Yeah, this is tough. Honestly, both these teams are playing some good hockey right now. Lightning have won 4 in a row heading into tonight's game against Vancouver. So they're going to be on a back-to-back. Edmonton has won 4 in a row as well. Most recently beating the Kraken on Tuesday. I'm going to roll with the Oilers here. Kind of like what I've seen from the Oilers. McDavid's been on a different planet.
And they got
I feel like
Kane.
we say it every time, but then every time he's just doing something better. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know how he's keeping up on this trajectory. But
Fucking Martian.
But yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Oilers and McDavid right now. Lightning on a back-to-back might be a little tired, so I'll take my chance with the Oilers at home. All right, let's move on to Friday night. Small slate, only 2 games. We're gonna be looking at Ottawa and Pittsburgh. This one will be on NHL Network Friday night. Snipsky, why don't we hear from you first? Ottawa, Pittsburgh.
Oh, they're playing each other right now, actually.
They got a little home and away.
Yeah, I guess so. So Penguins are pretty good at home. Senators are a horrible road team. Is Jari hurt still, or is he playing?
He's
I
hurt.
think he's still out.
He's hurt.
Okay, so
They've had DeSmith and Tokarski.
Yeah, I'm seeing that right here. DeSmith, I'm a fan of him. I like him. I'm just gonna roll Pens. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I think there's 0-0 still.
No, it's 2-2.
Oh, is it 2-2?
2-2 end of the first.
All right. Yeah, give me the Pens.
Yeah, I'm gonna be with you on this one, Snipsky. I'm gonna go Pens too. Pens 12-5-4 at home. The Pens have not been playing well lately. 3-6-1 their last 10, but Ottawa's not much better. Yeah, I can't pick Ottawa. They're on my shit list, so I'm gonna roll with the Pens. Bob, who you got in this one?
I'm gonna try to get everyone back, like all the listeners' attention back. I'm gonna do the over. It's probably 6.5, right? Probably 6, maybe.
Yeah,
Goals.
Yeah, I mean, so far tonight, 2-2 after one.
Yep.
Could see Tokarski in that for the Pens too.
Yeah, it says Tokarski and Forsberg for Ottawa.
And foreskin.
Doesn't sound like many saves to me, so.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like.
I think the over is a good bet.
Smells like goals.
All right, let's move on to Saturday where we got a little double dip, starting with a Saturday 12:30 start on this one.
That's
Weird
early.
time. 12:30. It's Anaheim Ducks going to Buffalo, taking on the Sabres. I'll start here. This sounds like goals to me. I'm going over here. Gonna ride over. I'm gonna double dip here. Actually, I'm gonna go over and Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm taking both. I'm taking over and Buffalo. Ducks stink. 4-15-4 on the road. That's horrible. Buffalo kind of needs to get back in the win column. They've lost a couple lately. So yeah, I'm gonna go over and Buffalo. Double dip for me. Bob, who you got in this one?
I'm gonna double dip as well. I'm going Buffalo money line and Buffalo puck line.
Oh, doubling down on the Sabres.
Oh man.
That might fucking kill me, but we'll see.
I don't know if the Sabres lose to the Ducks, dude.
Yeah.
That's bad.
The
That's
Ducks have
real
lost like
bad.
7 in a row. They stink.
Yeah, I'm going with the
You
over.
won't take the Ducks, Snipsky.
No.
No balls.
No, I don't.
No balls.
I don't need losses. I'm just gonna take the over on this one because both goalies, I mean, nothing to write home about. A lot of goals for the Sabres. Ducks are gonna get some too. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I like the over. It might be 7.
Yeah,
It could be high.
over's 8.5.
It might be 8.5. Yeah. I don't know. I see a lot of goals in that one. If that goes under, then I don't know. Screw me then. All right, we got another game we're going to do for Saturday. Saturday night, also on NHL Network, battle of a couple teams up north. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Snipsky, we'll start with you here. Who do you like? Leafs, Canadiens?
Those damn I got pegged last night by the Jets.
You get pegged every night.
Yo, I got pegged by the Canadians last night. I know Coco was on it too. Yeah, you can't bet with me, Coco. You gotta just go the other way. So I'm gonna go with the Leafs because they lost to the Canadiens earlier this year, and they're probably pissed. So. Yeah, and the Canadians are still rock hard from the other night.
You know, I've been fading the Canadiens lately. They've been a shit team for most of the season, but I don't know. They're kind of hot lately. They beat the Rangers in New York 2-1 and then just beat the Jets 4-1 pretty handedly. I'm going to go Canadiens, reverse puck line. I'm going Canadiens plus 1.5. I think they keep this one tight. Don't know if they'll pull it out, but I think they can lose by 1. Cover that puck line for me, or win outright. I'll take that.
They're saying that
So
they're
the Canadians.
They've been really good with the Montembeault recently. He's
Montembeault?
he's like 6-1 their last 7, something like that.
Give me him. Give me the Canadians. I hope Matt Murray's in that sieve.
He's been playing good.
Bob, who you got?
I'm just gonna play it easy here. I'm gonna go with the Leafs.
Boys on the Leafs. I'm hoping Canadians can keep it tight here.
They got a horseshoe up their ass. The Canadians.
Yeah, they might, but I don't know. 2 wins over a couple top teams.
Yeah, you might
I'm
be.
hoping they can keep it rolling.
Hey, they sent that bust to the minors, or to I forget your Slavkovsky.
Yeah, they have like Armia, Evans, and Slavkovsky all out right now. They're kind of banged up. They could get pumped. All right, let's go to Sunday, final game of the week. Afternoon game. It's Pittsburgh taking on New Jersey. This one will be on NHL Network. Bob, let's hear from you first. Pens or Devils?
I'm going to go with the Devils here because the Penguins have been very inconsistent this year. And I think the Devils are just a better team right now, more put together.
For some reason, I feel like we've picked this game like 3 times this year, I feel like.
Yeah, they play each other all the time.
I feel like every other week it's Penguins, Devils, and it's always on national TV.
Yeah, they play each other 4 times.
I know I took the over last time, and I'm pretty sure that the over got boned. Like it was 6.5 and finished at 6. So I was thinking about taking that again. I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to take the Devils. Devils have been looking pretty good lately. Pens, not so much. I'm going to take the better team right now in the Devils.
I want to pick the Penguins because I like them. They're my team, but they're just not consistent right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen it from them. They got Letang out. A couple other
Jari's
guys out.
out.
Back end. Yeah. Ruda, Petrie, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Can't trust the Pens right now. So
I'll be the one. I'll take the Pens.
Yeah.
Might as well.
This game's a coin flip.
Yeah,
to
it's
me,
too easy.
honestly.
It's both teams are good, so it's like.
Yeah, they're both good teams. Both should be in the playoffs. Pens kind of got to pick it up if they want to make a playoff push here. But yeah, this one could go either way. Flip a coin for me, but I like the Devils in a home spot. All right. Before we sign off today, Bob, we missed you last week. We tried pulling something together without you, but let's hear your fun fact of the day for today.
Yeah, so back in the day, like back in the day, probably like in the early 1900s, late 1800s, they boys used to play with frozen cow shit as the puck. If anyone actually even knows that fact. Huh?
I believe it.
Yeah, so back in the day, I read up on it. It was, I guess, obviously, like, in Canada, like, there's a lot of farms in Canada and stuff like that. So you go over there and, like, go over to their heifers and their cow. Like, well, the heifers are cows. Go over to the heifers, grab their fucking, their shit, freeze it up, because also it'd probably already be frozen because they're in Canada, and throw it on the ice and just, like, sauce it around, snap it around, you know what I mean? So it came a long way from some frozen cow shit.
Dude, imagine being the goalie.
I know. No, because the thing is, they weren't wearing fucking face masks back then. Imagine catching one in the mouth.
That's awful.
Dude, that'd be fucking gross. Like you go in,
you catch it, like it shatters all over your face.
Yeah, and then you go, they're like, all right, honey, like dinner. You go in and you just like smell like cow shit, and you have like a little fucking turd stuck in your teeth, just taking it.
I was gonna say, imagine like little Billy going out playing with his buddies, and he's like goalie, just getting peppered with cow shit, and he comes home, his mom's like, Billy, you smell like shit. What were you doing?
Yeah, you're rolling in cow shit. Yeah. It's like all over his pads and stuff.
Covered in it.
His pads, his puck marks are actually just his cow shit marks. Like,
he's got skid marks on his face. Oh my god.
I've smelled some pretty bad hockey bags, but I don't think anything could be worse than ones covered in cow shit.
Yeah, for real.
That's tough.
comedy.
Who would have thought? Cow shit for the puck.
Yeah, I mean, we came a long way, man.
They like morphing it, like shaping it like the night before and like putting it out. Like,
yeah, for real. That's probably part of their work list. So, like, the dad was probably, oh yeah, make some pucks.
Or maybe they just want to play, and right before they play, they just go out in the field and just look at try to find some shit.
You know, honestly,
frozen.
Imagine like that one piece of shit kid in the in like the neighborhood just takes his own dump and then fucking shapes.
Yeah, leave
it's
it
like,
there.
it's like a terrible prank.
Yeah, leave it there for a couple hours. We'll come back and see if it's frozen or not.
Yeah, imagine being the kid like they make like go fetch the shit. They're like, hey, Johnny, you gotta go get us a puck, dude.
Yeah, the younger brother has to go grab the shit.
That's awful.
All done.
All right, I think that just about wraps it up for us today. As always, I'd like to thank our producer, Mass Music Radio. They continue to produce music for the masses, and if you haven't already, be sure to go check them out and their other featured podcasts over at www.massmusicradio.com. That's www.massmusicradio.com. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you all for tuning in to the High Slot Podcast, and we'll see you all next time.
See you, everyone.
Later.